Yo, what's up, guys? Bob Pettit is here on NBA 2k19. This is so exciting. This is the locker code. Let's attempt at this. Oh, so there's 1500 NT, 1 token, 3 token, 15, and then the gray Bob Pettit from the Atlanta Hawks. Hopefully, oh Lord. Oh goodness gracious. Oh my gosh, we got 15 tokens instead of Bob Pettit. In all honesty, that partially sucks. But then we do get 15 tokens. So I don't that's still really good, to tell you the truth, just because I've had terrible rewards recently on these locker codes and so on. So be able to get 15 tokens, I'm able to actually get my next red, and it's been hard to grind because of school and everything. Being able to receive these 15 tokens helps so much on this road to glory. Now I'm thinking of Eddie Jones just to, and that's what I'm gonna aim for, right? I really want Damon Stoudemire, but I'm gonna have to wait on that because I want to think of a player who can actually help out my team. Who do I have? I have Kareem and I have Tyson Chandler as my center position, and I like Kevin. Wait, who? Artist Gilmore. This is the other card I want. Let's see. My defensively is a great. And rebounding, but then there's Tyson Chandler, who is he's 7'2". Tyson Chandler's 7'1", I want to say. How's that jumping? That vertical 72, the acceleration. I believe Tyson Chandler's best at that. Tyson Chandler is a much better defender for sure in the center position from consistency. So I might have to. Kevin Duckworth, he was a very good player for the Blazers, but for 2K, rebounding's great. Great box out, by the way. Speed, which is fine. Tyson Chandler does have stamina, but doesn't have the speed, which is fine. But this guy does have 93 strength, so he's able to possibly box out players. Offensively, his consistency is great. Health defense IQ is 989. The great Bill Walton. I would love to see his Blazers card instead of the Celtics card, because he actually came off the bench behind, I can't remember his name. There was Kevin McHale, Larry Bird, and Robert Parrish. I'm sorry, Parrish, with 92 block, 90 contests, great rebounding stats, great box out. I think this is something that I'm going. Elton Brand, my boy. This guy was so good for the Chicago Bulls. I was a bigger fan when he was with the LA Clippers, but he's such a great player. The problem, yeah, he's mainly an offensive center. The problem is too, he's 6'9", and that's really not going to be great, especially the way how this game is played right now. Unless I'm able to have, well, I have Amari Stoudemire. And then my other four is Giannis. His mid-range is great though. I'll be able to pick and pop, have the pick and roll, and have him fade out into the mid-range like what I've been doing with Stoudemire, so that would be great. Ty Lawson, I was a huge fan also. He should have a great three-point shot. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. And then there's Scotty. I'm gonna go with Scotty. Being able to have a defensive three, being able to run the floor, slash from the right and left side, being able to push up the floor and counterattack. That's gonna be nice. I like that. I don't know why I didn't see him in the first place. But yeah, it's sad that I didn't get my first diamond, but I did get another ruby. 8 more cards and I get another, and then I finally get in the amethyst section, which Dirk Nowitzki will be the first one, and then Mike Bibby actually. Those would be the 2 first ones. Oh, Petri is really good. Yeah, those 2 would be the first. Dirk, and then Stephen Marbury. I grew up watching these three players, so those three will probably be the first ones. Adding on to that real quick, actually, I think this is a good time now. Jalen, I love you, but I think it's time to move on. Yeah, it's sad to say. And then Scotty, I'll put him at the 3 instead. He's 6'8". Scotty, I forgot how tall he was. 6'8", yeah. But having that defensive 3, being able to handle Kevin Durant and so on. And then on the bench, I'll have a lot of offensive power from Richard Hamilton, Clay, and Mitch Richmond. And yeah, and I'll just rely on Kareem, Larry Hughes, and Amari to give me points. Steven Jackson's a great spot up. Scottie Pippen should be a decent spot up, but mainly I would want him for defense. That'll be my main goal, basically, having a guy who can... I didn't even look at his badges. Defensive stopper, there we go. Pickpocker. Yeah, chase down artist, that's perfect. Being able to have a player who can go up and down the court and be consistent on both ends, that's awesome. Now, last thing I want to do is open up a pack. And hopefully the great luck goes into that. And I think this might be the last one. I want to say we do get gold. We get 2 golds, so we get possibly 2 gold player, a gold player, and then so on. So we get contract. I like contract. I love it. And the Lakers, okay, 66-72. And what gold player? Kelly Olynyk, which I believe I might already have. I do not. That's perfect. Okay, now I'm 8 more tokens away from getting my next player. And the other thing that I would love to discuss for a second is what am I going to do for this team. I just got Scotty, but I really want Ray, which I don't think that's going to happen soon, just because he's about 40,000 now. And I did want to talk about one last thing. I just came up. The trade with Jimmy Butler, that's a crazy trade for both teams. Minnesota being able to get rid of locker problems, and just I'm a big Jimmy Butler fan, but just he has been somewhat of a nuisance towards the team, and that's not on him either. It's on Cat, it's on Andrew Wiggins, the whole team being able. They need a leader, and I don't believe they actually have a true leader. And Jimmy Butler, his attitude towards the game is a nuisance to their locker room. But for me, he is perfect in locker rooms that need tough love. Obviously, he's done crazy things like slept with Karl Anthony Towns' girlfriend and so on. But Jimmy Butler, he is a leader, and he is a great player. So I get his frustration. And a player like Cat, which I think is a great player, he doesn't take the game too seriously. Example of that actually is Dwight Howard. He did take the game seriously. The problem was he didn't take it serious enough. And a good example in continuing that is Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant and Dwight did not mesh together. Kobe Bryant had problems with him and his attitude towards the game. Even though Dwight was such a great player, he had all the talent in the world to be known as one of the greatest centers to ever play the game. But there was that problem. Same thing with Jimmy Butler and Karl Anthony Towns. I get it, but Karl Anthony Towns, that's who he is. Andrew Wiggins, that's who he is. Jeff Teague and so on, that's who they are. So Jimmy Butler can't get that mad when he understands the environment. He just to go in and say, I just want out. It is what it is. But he's joining a team of Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, which I think they are going to be there's going to be a threat to Boston. And I am worried about that because Jimmy Butler, he'll give you 20. He'll drop 20 a night, and that's all they need on that team. The only problem I have from that, they lose bench players. They lost Saric. They lost Rob Covington and I think Jared Bayless. They lost bench quality right there. So so their need to be able to maybe go in free agency, or looking past next year, or maybe they'll get lucky and make another trade to get some quality bench. Now they're thinking of Wilson Chandler coming off the bench to give them that spark. I like Wilson Chandler, just he's very injury prone, so you're relying on a player who's possibly going to get injured, and you have a guy like Markelle Fultz who needs to really work on his shot. I mean, this man, whatever you want, he dropped 30 something points during college ball. When you're mainly a scorer, you can translate that into the game and translate that pretty easily to an extent if you have the right shot and you continue to work on your game. That can convert over easily compared to other things, IQ and so on. Just being able to know how to score the ball. Look at Jason Tatum. He's a pure scorer. You can tell he came into the NBA being able to do it. Donovan Mitchell, he's a pretty decent quality shooter, scorer. He's able to translate that into the game. When you have a good example also off of that is Tyler Hansbrough. I like to talk about him a lot. He played for the North Carolina Tar Heels. He averaged 30 rebounds a game and 30 points a game for the Tar Heels, and that's when we won the championship. And Tyler Hansbrough came to the Pacers and he couldn't translate that. Something like rebounding and all that, you need technique. When it comes to scoring, it comes with technique, but if you're used to be able to score, you are a scorer, you're a natural scorer, that should translate. And when there's a player like Markelle Fultz who can't translate that, that is an issue. And especially with that shot, it's not great. Sorry for the tangent, just want to throw that out there. A little conversation. If you have any response or anything, please comment down below. I would love to hear your take on about Jimmy Butler, about the Sixers, the Minnesota, how they're moving forward. But just going back to this, Brook Lopez having 94 shot from contested and 95 from open shot three, and the reason for that, he dropped 8 threes in a row for the Milwaukee Bucks. That is crazy. That's intense. The other player, I want to give a shout out to Chris Levert, who got injured yesterday. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and I wouldn't recommend looking at it, but Karis Levert, sorry, this man right here, really terrible injury, similar to Gordon Hayward's injury. So that's something that is really sad to see, honestly. That actually broke my heart seeing that, being able to, such a player of his stature just going down in injury such as that. Okay, so going back to 2K, I'm a huge Michael Conley fan since the Rudy Gay, Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol, Shane Battier, my boy OJ Mayo days. Oh, when is OJ Mayo gonna be coming out? Oh, but those guys right there, that was the era of Mike Conley, and he was a great facilitator for OJ Mayo and Gerard Bayless actually was coming off the bench at that team, but just being able to have OJ Mayo and Rudy Gay and being able to facilitate that with Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol handling the paint offensively and defensively, being able to just control that whole entire key. That was such a great year or 2 years, 2 or 3 years, I believe, for the Memphis Grizzlies. I am going to buy this card and I'm going to enjoy it. Every year when I did play 2K, he was one of the players I always bought. Not for Ultimate Team, just when I played whatever game mode. He would always be my starting point guard or one of the players I would pick up. And then Karl-Anthony Towns, yeah, Towns got a card, and oh dang, decent three. Annoyingly, I got defend against that. Great rebounding, wow. Okay, let me finish going through this. Quinn Cook got a card? Huh. 88 offense. Dang, 95 mid-range. This guy is the young Carmelo. That mid-range game is, how's his post game? Because if he's literally going to be Carmelo Anthony if his post game is actually really good. That's crazy. Low post, in all. Reaction is terrible though. Where's that post game? Post offense. Post hook, post fadeaway, 42. Now this ain't no Carmelo, but if you're able to get some screens going and being able to come off him coming off a screen off ball and being able to dish it to him in the mid range, this guy's dropping it 95. That's kind of disgusting, to tell you the truth. But real quick, we're actually going to take the time to buy Mike Conley, and then we're going to call it an episode. So Larry Hughes and Mitch Richmond. Yeah, Mitch Richmond actually might have to go. Richmond's really good, just I'm not used to his three-point shot. I'm having a real problem with him being at point. He'll be better at the two, honestly. But I like Clay and Richard Hamilton, so I don't know what to do on that. Ruby? Is it a Ruby? Yeah. Okay. We're trying to get him as cheap as possible. So 39. Alright, cool. I promise you this card's gonna be great. And he's a great defender. Great facilitator. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this card. Him and Rondo were always two of my favorite guards to ever have on 2K. Last thing I would look, pick dodger, mid-range, yup. Teardropper, catch and shoot, yup. Floor general, yup. Team player, yup. Alpha dog, I love it. I did not look at his defensive stats, to tell you the truth. It's okay. He's 6, yeah, he's 6'1". He'll work. He'll work. I might have to put some defensive stats on him, but he'll definitely work on this team. I love it. I'm very excited to use this card, but I will use it another day because I'm about to go study, and I would recommend you guys too, after watching this video, whatever y'all have to do. If not, continue watching them videos, continue enjoying life, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace.